Jai Hind students. In today's topic, I have taken two physical quantity which appears they are same, but the fact is that they are not at all same. These two different quantities have different understanding, but since they are so related with each other, then what comes in our mind that they are almost same, but they are not same. Very first thing I want to make clear here. And these two physical quantity which we are talking right now is one is mass and one is weight. So how can we differentiate between these two physical quantity, and then we'll have different detail about these two physical quantity, and we'll try to understand that how they appears to be same, although they are not same. I am very clear about that. They are different physical quantity. So with the help of comparative analysis, we'll try to find out differences between these two physical quantity and what is the importance of these two physical quantity in our day-to-day life. And at last, I will discuss one of the misconception which we use in our daily life and which creates confusion between mass and weight. Okay, so let's start with the class. First topic, what is mass and what is weight? Okay, so what I have defined here in a crisp manner, it shows quantity of matter. That means if this is a pen, how much quantity of matter is involved in to make this pen is called its mass. Similarly, if I am talking about mass of my body, that means how much bone, how much my muscles, how much water, everything which is composing my body is available in my body. So that is called, actually we are talking about mass of my body, quantity which we are measuring for any object. So what is mass of any object? It shows that how much quantity of matter, amount of matter is present in that body. If you say that I am become fat or I am getting thinner, what does it mean? That means if you are getting fat, that means you are acquiring more mass in your body. If you are getting thinner, that means you are losing your mass from your body. Okay, so in this manner we can understand that mass only represents the quantity of matter. On the other hand, if we talk about weight, then what does weight represent to us? Okay, so weight represents pull of gravity of any heavenly body. Pull of gravity, that means gravitational pull of the any heavenly body. Heavenly body means Earth, Moon, Jupiter, Sun. They are the heavenly body. And why they call heavenly body? Because they have large mass. And these type of heavenly bodies has power to accelerate any objects on its surface towards its center by its gravitational force. Once again I am repeating, these heavenly bodies are capable of accelerating any object on the surface of that heavenly body towards the center of heavenly body. Okay, so like Earth has a gravitational pull and which always accelerate our body toward the center of the Earth with the help of 9.8 meter per second square value near Earth's surface. So weight only represents the gravitational pull of Earth, gravitational pull on of the Moon if we go to Moon, gravitational pull of the Jupiter if we move to Jupiter. So weight only talks about the pull of heavenly body. Okay, now so these are the two basic difference. What is mass? Mass is a quantity of matter. What is weight? It is the gravitational pull of any heavenly body towards its center. Next, unit. Since it is quantity, so its unit is kilogram. And what will be the unit of weight? Newton. Why Newton? Because weight is what? So gravitational force, and gravitational force or any force in our discussion or in our science is measured in terms of Newton. So weight will also have the same value, Newton, the same unit, Newton. Now if it represent, what does it represent? It represents inertia. Inertia we have already come to know that inertia is the tendency to not change the state of rest if the body is at rest, or state of uniform motion if the body is doing uniform motion. So it doesn't want to change. This is only called inertia, tendency to not change. So mass actually is the measurement of inertia of any object. That means more mass is there, that means more tendency to not change, and less mass means it represents the less tendency to not change. So that's why an object with lesser mass can be easily shifted, but an object with larger mass requires a large value of force because it has a greater tendency to not change its position with the force, okay, because it has a large mass. What does weight represents? Again, I have already said that it's a gravitational force of heavenly body on its surface towards its center. So obviously it is a force, and that is the actually representing quantity of matter. So that with and measures inertia, mass I am talking about. Now, what kind of quantity it is? Mass is a scalar quantity. That means only requires magnitude. Direction doesn't matter. Then what about weight? Since weight is a force, so obviously it will have a magnitude as well as direction. Magnitude we measure by a formula which we will discuss further. And what is the direction of weight? It is always taken towards the center of the heavenly body. Like on earth, the weight is always considered towards the center. And one thing I want to make clear here, weight is always perpendicular to the surface of the heavenly body. Why it will be always taken perpendicular? Because it always at vertically 90 degree to the, like my weight. So the pull of earth will be my weight, and it will always taken into consideration that it will be always at right angle. Okay, that's why at some places weight is also called thrust. This we will study about that. What is thrust? Thrust is nothing, a force which acts 90 degree at right angle to any surface. So weight always acts on the surface at 90 degree. So we can take it as a thrust also. Now, so it represents scalar quantity mass, and this quantity represents vector because the weight has mass as well as magnitude as well as direction also, because it's a force. And direction already I have said, it is always taken towards the center of the earth, and it is always at right angle to the surface of the earth or any heavenly body. Now device, how do we measure the mass? To measure the mass, generally we use beam balance. What is beam balance? Taraju. You could have seen taraju with kabadiwala or anybody anywhere like in the grocery shop and all. So that actually is called beam balance. Why called beam balance? Because there is a rod kind of thing. Okay, and this rod is only called beam. So that's why it is called beam balance. So mass is measured by beam balance. Then how do we measure weight? Generally there are different devices, but we measure this with this device which normally we call it spring balance. Why is it called a spring? Because you can see here inside that there is a spring. So when something is hang here, like if I hang this, you can see now it is showing somewhere 25 gram to 3 scale ahead. So at around it's a 40 gram, it's a weight. So it is now showing that what is the weight of this object, means this cloth. Weight means by what amount the earth is pulling this cloth towards its center. So this device you could have seen with the gas vendors also. Those who supply gases at your houses, they generally carry this type of devices, but of obviously bigger size, because they have to measure a cylinder which is approximately of weight 30 kilograms. So they have a large size of spring balance, but that is also spring balance only. So it is measured by spring balance, and this is measured by mass is measured by beam balance. Now variation. Variation means what is the value, variation in the value of magnitude of mass or weight. Yes, I have written variation. Mass has no variation. That means whatever mass, that is whatever quantity of matter I have here, the same quantity of matter I will possess if I am not disfigured or something, I got accident. If everything is normal, then if I go to Delhi, there also my mass will be same. If I go to London, there will be mass, my amount of quantity will be same, that is mass. And if you leave the earth and go somewhere moon, there also my quantity of matter is not going to change. So in the whole space, it is observed that the mass of the object is not going to change unless it has been disfigured. Okay, Unless you get an accident, that means obviously that time some mass can be less or less will be there. But normally if everything is normal, then my mass or any object mass is not going to change. That means the quantity of matter possessed by any object never changes in any part of the universe. Universe I am talking about, if everything is normal. But variation is found in weight, because weight is the pull of the gravitation of heavenly body. Now in that situation, as we know that the gravitational pull of the earth, or if we go to moon or anywhere, if we move to the space even, that can be lesser, that can be more also. It can be increase or decrease, because this force depends on various factors like distance between two objects, masses of the two objects. So, and we know that variation is possible in these kind of situation. So the pull can be different, that means the weight can be different. So that's why if you go to, I have already mentioned that if you go to pole, if you go to equator, you will find out that the pull of the gravity of the earth is changing. At poles it will be higher because it is closer to the center of the earth, and when you go to equator it will be lesser. So weight can vary. When you go to space, we feel weightlessness, because that by that distance we experience no pull of the earth, almost no pull, and that means we feel weightless. And same goes to earth center also. So weight can vary from place to place, but mass can never vary from place to place. Okay. So these are some basic differences. Even mass can never be 0, 1 point or more you can add, and weight can be 0. In the case of weightlessness, the weight becomes 0. Okay. So there are some comparison by which we can find out what is the difference between these two physical quantity. Okay. Now, so you can have this type of question is asked in the examination, find out some difference between mass and weight. So you have, these are a list, number of lists, you can, according to that you can find out the differences between mass and weight. Now we are going to have formula for weight. Okay. So how can we formulate a formula for measuring weight? It's very simple. There I have mentioned, I have written weight is equal to F. That means weight is equal to force. Now which force? It is the gravitational force, okay, of any object. Now this weight can be represented by capital G. If we take our weight, here we are on the earth, so we are going to calculate a formula for weight on earth. And weight on earth means the gravitational pull of the earth we have to measure. So capital G, ME means mass of the earth, M is the mass of the object for which we are doing the calculation of weight, okay, and RE square is the radius of the earth which we have taken at a particular place. Now what I have done, I have taken these all expression together, and this mass of the object for which we are calculating weight, I have taken separately. So if I write in this way, M, this is the mass of the object for which we are calculating the weight, and capital G ME upon RE square. Now can you identify this expression? This is nothing, this is only the formula of small g. So finally what the formula we are getting? Weight is equal to M into G, and believe me, it is a short form of gravitational force of the earth. M into G. M is the mass of the object for which we are doing the calculation, and G is the acceleration produced on that body at the particular place on the surface of the earth. So it is only a short form of gravitational force of the earth if we are on the earth. If you go to the moon, then what the expression will change? Mass of the object will remain unchanged, it is constant, so it will remain same. But what will change? Capital G also is not going to change. But suppose we are trying to find out the weight on the moon. So the mass of the earth will be replaced by mass of the moon, and radius of the earth will be replaced by radius of the moon. And in that manner, when we compare, we will get the weight on the moon. And we have already found out mass is not going to change either on the earth or the moon or any part of the universe. So basically weight is dependent on the acceleration produced by that heavenly body. And in previous classes, I have already introduced you this concept that G is on the earth surface. When we move to moon surface, it is approximately 1/6. So that's why when we say that where our weight becomes 1/6 on the moon, why? Basically the reason behind is not the mass, because mass doesn't never get changed. So what happens? Basically G becomes 1/6. So when G becomes 1/6, that means weight will also become 1/6. Similarly, if you go to any planet, G can be increased also. So in that situation, weight will be more at that place, like Jupiter and all. It will be more weight will be experienced by the same object, because the pull, we are actually measuring pull of the heavenly body. So on Jupiter, pull is higher due to its higher mass and all, so it will be more. So in this way, we can formulate a formula for weight on the weight of any object on any heavenly body. Only you have to take care that mass will remain unchanged, but G, that is acceleration due to gravity, since it varies from place to place, planet to planet, or any other heavenly body, so that's why it can be changed. So basically weight is dependent on this acceleration due to gravity value at that particular place of the earth or any heavenly body. Okay, so this is the formula, so you have to take care. Now, so we have done with formula. Variation I have already mentioned to you. Device I have already said. Now after this comparison, you can conclude the differences between mass and weight. So try to find out in a tabular form. Now one misconception. It's a very important discussion, because this only misconception which we keep in our mind and get confused that what is the difference between mass and weight. Now you will be able to find out the basic differences in mass and weight. Now suppose, I hope that you all have climbed up on any of the weighing machine in your life. So when we stand on the weighing machine and when we see the reading, okay, we say that my weight is 70 kilogram. Suppose a person is standing on a weighing machine and the meter is showing that it is 70 kilogram. And this person says that my mass is 70 kilogram, we don't say. So they say, or we also say, that our weight is 70 kilogram. Is it the right way to express your weight? You are absolutely wrong, because weight can never be measured in kilogram. Yeah, better we say that my weight is 70 kilogram force. Okay, my weight is 70 kilogram weight. Okay, this language which use kgf or kgwt. If you say that my weight is 70 kilogram, it is not proper. That means if you say that my weight is 70 kilogram, one is unit of mass, another is weight. How can they be similar? Actually, do you think that when you stand on the weighing machine, it is measuring the quantity of matter which is present in your body? If it is so, then suppose along with this weighing machine, I go to Mount Everest. Okay, then obviously when you will observe the reading, now it is suppose showing 68 kilogram. So what do you think? In your body, the quantity of matter has decreased. It can now never be decreased, because mass never changes, quantity of matter never changes. Then why the reading is different? Because here we are not measuring on the weighing machine the quantity of matter which I am possessing. What I am measuring? I am measuring that time by what strength the earth is pulling me down. That means the weight. Then why when we reach to Mount Everest, it has become 68 kilogram? Actually it is not 68 kilogram, actually it is 68 kilogram force. That means now the earth is only capable of applying a force equivalent to 68 kilogram force on the Mount Everest. The pull has become lesser because distance has increased. So the pull is different. Now it is not, earth is not able to pull with 70 kilogram force. It is only able to pull with 68 kilogram force. So quantity of matter is same, it never going to change, but pull can be different, which I have already shared. So we never say that my weight is 70 kilogram and on Mount Everest my weight is 68 kilogram. No, quantity of matter cannot be vary. Better you should say 68 kilogram force or 70 kilogram force. This word should be added. But why then we term it as if it is mass is 70 kilogram means I will consider mass 70 kilogram on Earth's surface. Then what is the problem? Actually what happens, if I stand on the weighing machine, if you stand on the weighing machine. Actually, in both of situation, the weight m into g. So here, for my weight, my mass will be responsible, and for weight of your body, your mass will be responsible. And at one place we have already come to know that small g value remains same. So since g is common in both the bodies, so that's why basically we compare the weight in terms of mass. So that's why the confusion comes. Actually this represents weight but in terms of mass. If you want to find out the weight in real sense, then what you have to do? From this formula, mass will you take in 70 kilogram if it is on the earth's surface into the acceleration due to gravity at that place. So normally at the earth's surface we take 9 point. So what will there? 700 Newton. So you want to express your weight in terms of Newton, then you have to multiply your mass with the acceleration due to gravity present on earth or anywhere. So here suppose here it is 9.8 or I have rounded off 10. So 70 kilogram means here this person has a weight of 700 Newton. That means the earth is pulling this person towards its center at this place with a value of 700 Newton. So here actually it is representing weight in terms of mass. That's why when we go place to place, this value changes because it's actually not measuring mass. It is showing the pull of the gravitation. But near earth's surface, whatever we get, we take it out that our mass also. And for weight, we have to multiply this 70 into 9.8 or 10, round off if you want to take it. So it is not showing mass, it's showing weight in terms of mass. So whenever next time you say that my weight is 70 kilogram, 80 kilogram, you are saying wrongly. What should say? My weight is 70 kilogram force. That means 70 into 9.8 you have to multiply for getting your weight in Newton. So that you have to take care. So that's and what I said, that why do you feel then mass? Why do you only feel that weight is actually mass? Actually we learn in our habit, in our daily life, that always express weight in terms of mass. Always express weight in terms of mass, which is a wrong practice. Okay. So that we have to take care. So this misconception comes in our mind that when we measure our weight on weighing machine, it is showing mass. No, it is showing weight in terms of mass. So how will we get real weight? Whatever mass is being shown on the display into 9.8 if it is on the earth's surface. If you go higher, mass will remain same, whatever mass you have. But since g value varies, so there will be a difference in the weight of the object also. Okay. So take care of this. This is a great confusion which we keep on our mind. At last, one more question. Finally, when we stand on the weighing machine, is it our real weight? Is it our real weight? Think upon it. It's not our real weight. Because weight is the pull of the gravitation of the earth. But do you think earth really capable of applying its full strength on our body? Full gravitational force on our body? No. Why it is not possible? Because you are in air. So obviously we will talk about one of the force which we call buoyant force in the next classes. Actually buoyant force is acting on our body. So we don't get the real value of weight on our earth's surface. But how can we get the real weight? So for real weight we will have to go in a vacuum where buoyant force does not exist. Okay. So this information I had to share. Thank you for today's class.